The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. Police investigating the country's latest murder. A man out on bail murdered. The Attorney General blasting the F&M over there. Concerns about biometric voters' cards, saying the opposition never gave feedback on the bill. And more than 1,400 guns encased in cement. Part of a ceremony yesterday. That's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, August 14th, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be joining us. Also this morning, we're talking with the Bahamian Contractors Association. We're talking about skills shortages, the need for foreign workers, training, and more. Plus, we're getting information about the contractor certification course, which is happening next week. So a lot to talk with them about this morning. That's all ahead, but first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, a man on bail murdered on Lexington Avenue off Wolf Road here in New Providence. This happened yesterday. Police say the victim was standing outside a home in the area around 5 p.m. when a dark-colored Japanese vehicle pulled up. The gunman got out and started shooting. Chief Superintendent Strachan King saying the victim ran as the gunman continued shooting at him. He collapsed and died at the scene. King is asking for anyone with information to contact the police. It's the 56th murder for the year. Police could not say if the murder was connected to the murders that happened on the weekend. As you may recall, on Saturday, 2 men were murdered and another 5 were injured during a shooting in Ridgeland Park. Then later that night, around 11 p.m., another man was killed off Nassau Street. Prime Minister Philip Davis has decried the bloodshed, calling on parents to speak up if they know their children are involved in crime. Well, over 1,400 guns were destroyed and encased in concrete at the Internal Security Division of the police force yesterday. Minister of National Security Wayne Monroe calling the act a deeply significant event and a first of its kind in the region. As he opened debate on the Parliamentary Elections Amendment Bill 2025, which would create a framework for the introduction of biometric voters' cards and a digital voter registration system, Attorney General Ryan Pinder lambasting the FNM for opposing the bill without contributing any suggestions for improvements to the legislation. The FNM has repeatedly said that it believes the legislation has been rushed and that it would have unintended consequences as a result. However, Pinder said yesterday that debate on the bill was delayed to allow the opposition party to put any concerns in writing, but that they never received anything from them. Meanwhile, F&M Senator Michaela Barnett Ellis accusing the Davis administration of carelessly rushing the rollout of the biometric voters' cards and digital registration, claiming that neither will have any significant impact on reducing irregularities within the voters' register. And in an effort to reduce fraud, F&M Senator Taryn Henfield suggesting that the government introduce biometric features to Bahamian birth certificates. Henfield's suggestion coming during that debate in the Senate yesterday, saying, quote, "It only makes sense that as we seek to eliminate fraud from our voting process, we should also address the issue of our birth certificates, which lack biometric features. If we add biometric features to birth certificates, we will immediately improve security in the area of identity verification." A man jailed after he admitted to flashing employees at a convenience store and threatening their boss. 30-year-old Zamar Curtis pleaded guilty to charges of a grossly indecent act and threats of death at his arraignment before Assistant Chief Magistrate Carolyn Vogt Evans. At around 5 p.m., Curtis went to a shop in New Providence and exposed his private parts to the women workers. When their boss intervened and told him to leave, Curtis threatened to kill him. Curtis told the court that the behavior was out of character and insisted that he had been drugged. He told the magistrate that his relatives had kicked him out and cut him off because of a dispute over an inheritance. Curtis asked the magistrate to send him to Sandlands to complete a 6-week drug rehab session instead of imposing a prison sentence. But the magistrate found that jail was appropriate considering Curtis's criminal record. As a result, he was sentenced to 1 year on each count. The sentences will run at the same time. A man accused of killing his former girlfriend gave the court his alibi as he was committed to stand trial in the Supreme Court. 46-year-old Quinton Russell faces arson and murder charges in relation to the January 25th, 2025 death of Anishka Bonnaby. Prosecutors allege that around 4 a.m. on January 6, 2025, Russell torched Bonnaby's apartment on West End Avenue. Bonnaby sustained severe burns to most of her body and died in the hospital on January 22nd. Russell, who was still on remand, received a voluntary bill of indictment, which transferred his case to the Supreme Court when he appeared before Assistant Chief Magistrate Carolyn Vogt Evans on Wednesday. He will be arraigned on murder and arson charges before Justice Wilhelmina Archer-Mins on September 19th. Russell took the witness stand and provided the details of his alibi. According to Russell, he was at his home in Rosebud Street and left to go to a neighborhood store to buy a bottle of water before he returned home. Russell said that he told police officers that surveillance footage from the store would be able to prove he wasn't at the crime scene. And police charging a man and woman after a teenager was allegedly found selling alcoholic beverages. Twasalina Ferguson and Roberto Hanna of 4th Street, Coconut Grove, pleaded not guilty to allowing a minor to be employed in direct sale of restricted goods. Prosecutors allege that on July 30th, a 15-year-old boy was found selling alcoholic beverages at Twasalina's Catering on Goodman's Bay. Assistant Chief Magistrate Carolyn Vogt Evans set bail at $7,000 each and ordered the pair to report to the Grove Police Station on the last Sunday of each month. They returned to court on October 9th. Overseas, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer welcoming Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to London today in a show of UK support for Ukraine, a day before a critical U.S.-Russia summit is set to take place in Alaska. The two embraced warmly outside Starmer's offices at number 10 Downing Street without making any comments. Around an hour later, Starmer walked Zelensky back to his waiting car, and the two leaders shared another embrace as the Ukrainian president departed. Zelensky's trip to the British capital coming a day after he took part in virtual meetings from Berlin with U.S. President Donald Trump and the leaders of several European countries. Those leaders said Trump had assured them that he would make a priority of trying to achieve a ceasefire in Ukraine when he meets with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Friday in Anchorage. Both Zelensky and the European leaders have worried that the bilateral U.S.-Russia summit would leave them and their interests sidelined. They fear that any conclusions reached could favor Moscow, leaving Ukraine and Europe's future security in jeopardy with Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine now in its 4th year. And Israel's far-right finance minister announcing a contentious new settlement construction in the Israeli-occupied West Bank, which Palestinians and rights groups worry will scuttle plans for a future Palestinian state by effectively cutting the West Bank into two separate parts. The announcement comes as many countries say they would recognize a Palestinian state in September. Development in E1, an open tract of land east of Jerusalem, has been under consideration for more than 2 decades, but was frozen due to U.S. pressure during previous administrations. On Thursday, the finance minister, Bezalel Smotrich, praising Donald Trump and U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee as, quote, true friends of Israel as we have never had before. The E1 plan has not yet received its final approval, which is expected next week. The plan includes around 3,500 apartments to expand the settlement. While some bureaucratic steps remain, if the process moves quickly, the work on the infrastructure could begin in the next few months, and construction of homes could start in around a year. And heavily armed gangs killed 2 Haitian police officers in the latest deadly attack on law enforcement in the troubled Caribbean country. The officers attacked late Tuesday were members of a new specialized unit tasked with patrolling Kanskoff, a once peaceful farming community that gangs are trying to seize. It's located near the capital of Port-au-Prince, of which 90% is already controlled by gangs. The deputy spokesperson for Haiti's National Police telling the Associated Press that the policemen were inside an armored vehicle that became stuck in a ditch dug by gangs and were killed as they tried to escape. In a video posted on social media, gang members gloated over boots, automatic weapons, bulletproof vests, and other items they seized from the police during the attack. They also posted gruesome videos of the officers killed. The killings coming less than a month after 3 police officers and an informant were killed in Haiti's central region, which gangs have repeatedly attacked. A 4th officer remains missing in that case. Some 1,520 people were reported killed and another 600 injured across Haiti from April to the end of June, with 24% of them injured or killed by gangs, according to a UN report. In sports, Lamar Taylor is on the medal podium at the 2025 Junior Pan American Games in Paraguay. Again, a day after storming to a bronze in the men's 100 meters free, he came back and won silver in the men's 50-meter free, finishing second in the 2020 in 22.11 seconds. Taylor had the 3rd fastest reaction time in the field and glided the length of the pool to record one of his fastest times ever. He set the national record of 22.05 seconds at the Bahamas Aquatics Federation National Swimming Championships in Nassau in June and tied it at the World Aquatics Championships in Singapore in July. The Amon speedster proving that he hasn't lost any form since the Nationals, powering to the 2nd place finish Wednesday. You can read more about it in today's Guardian Sports section. And following what Bahamas Bodybuilding, Wellness, and Fitness Federation President Wellington Cat Sears deemed very competitive national championships, the Federation has named an 11-member team to represent the country at the 52nd Central American and Caribbean Bodybuilding and Fitness Championships, set for September 26th through 28th in St. Lucia. The Bahamas team, including 8 men and 3 women, all the names in today's Guardian Sports section. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. We're watching Tropical Storm Erin, expected to become a hurricane by tomorrow. As of 5 o'clock this morning, Erin was about 990 miles east of the northern Leeward Islands. Erin's moving towards the west at 17 miles per hour. This motion is expected to continue today with a west-northwest motion beginning tonight and continuing into the weekend. On the forecast track, the center of Erin will likely move near or just north of the northern Leeward Islands over the weekend. Maximum sustained winds are near 50 miles per hour with higher gusts. Gradual strengthening is forecast during the next day or so, and Erin could become a major hurricane in a matter of days. The forecast track still has Erin taking a turn towards the north and northeast and away from the Bahamas, but getting close enough to cause some serious maritime issues. We'll keep you posted on that and have more in our next weather check. For today, your forecast, we're predicting a very, very hot day. In fact, a heat warning is in effect for the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands. The southeast Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands will experience a severe heat wave, while the rest of the country will experience excessive heat for the next 3 to 5 days. High-pressure ridging continues to dominate weather as well, supporting gentle to fresh breezes, high temperatures, and typical summertime weather. Expect a few isolated showers or thunderstorms, mainly over the central Bahamas. So that ridging pattern is expected to persist through Sunday with very little change. As Tropical Storm Erin moves closer to the area, expect an increase in clouds and shower activity and winds heading into early next week. So as a result of this heat wave and heat warning, everyone's being advised to limit outdoor activities if you can. Remain hydrated, wear light-colored clothing, sunglasses, sunscreen, and again, limit outdoor activities if you can during peak sunlight hours. For today, for most areas, we're looking at mostly sunny conditions during the day, turning fair tonight. For the central islands, a few cloudy periods during the day. We're looking at only a 10 to 20% chance of isolated showers or afternoon thunderstorms. For the northern islands, winds southeasterly at 10 knots or less, falling light and variable at times. Easterly at 10 knots or less for the central and northwest Bahamas, and the southeast Bahamas as well, but higher gusts expected. Your temperatures today, highs around 93 Fahrenheit, 34 Celsius, but that heat index will make it feel anywhere from 105 to 123 Fahrenheit, especially in the southeast Bahamas, which is anywhere from 43 Celsius to 51 Celsius. Unbelievable stuff. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 78 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. More on your extended outlook and Erin coming up in a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General, insurance made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Wake up, it's a new day.
Running low on summer funds? Squeeze every drop of fun out of your summer with Fidelity Personal Loan. From backyard upgrades to family getaways, Fidelity is here to help. Call 356-7764 today.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
As a healthcare professional, you dedicate your life to caring for others. But even with the best care, legal challenges can arise. Protect your practice and your peace of mind with medical malpractice insurance from Star General. At Star General, we've partnered with Lloyd's of London to bring you comprehensive professional liability insurance designed specifically for those consulting or practicing privately. Visit our website today so you can focus on what you do best, caring for your patients while we take care of the rest. Star General, insurance made simple.
When it comes to hearts at Cleveland Clinic, you can't miss a beat. You seek the best care possible, work with the brightest minds, and leave no stone unturned to get to the heart of the matter. Because understanding is always the first step to overcoming. For every heart in the world, see how we're advancing the future of heart care at Cleveland Clinic today.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello? This Epic Eckert battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Who's the real MVP of the soil, the hero of the harvest? The Agrarian Awards 2025 is here, and we want you to nominate the farmer who's growing greatness in your community. 8 categories up for grabs and a chance to win up to $50,000 in cash prizes. Brought to you by the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources and the Agricultural Development Organization, honoring the hands that feed the nation. Visit adobahamas.org to submit your nomination for the Agrarian Awards 2025.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Laverne Gardner. Laverne, good morning.
Morning, Dwight.
Great to have you with us as always.
Our listeners.
Hope you're doing well.
I'm okay.
Okay.
I think.
You sound very excited. Okay, great. Hey, coming up this morning, we're going to be talking with the Bahamian Contractors Association. They have a contractors certification course coming up, but we're also going to talk with them. If you're a regular listener to the show, you'll know that we talked with Leonard Sands. He called in during a discussion we had about work permits and whether all of these were necessary, and he talked about the lack of skills for some specialized services in their field. And we're going to get deeper into that conversation with him this morning. So that's coming up in just a bit. But right now, let's see if we can get into what's in the news. And Laverne, the show has barely started, and we have a text message already. This text here, I'm going to try to be good today. This person says here, "Hey, Dwight, I'm surprised you didn't mention in your overnight news report that Haitian gang leader Barbecue has been indicted in the States. And did you hear anything about local cabinet ministers indicted in the U.S.?" Well, if you listened yesterday, you would have heard about that, about the barbecue thing. We talked, that definitely happened. No, we have not heard anything because it's not true. The Foreign Affairs Minister saying he doesn't know what that's all about either. Lots of crazy rumors are flying around. Lots of crazy rumors. And it's only going to get worse as we get closer to the election season. So, yeah. Okay. You got to listen every day before you say that, hey, they didn't talk about it. Because they did. Probably. Maybe. More than likely. Right. All right. So, another murder. Again, I mean, it doesn't even make sense to say broad daylight now, right? Because that's when it happens. Just that's the time, right in the day, in front of everybody on the street. That's how we do things around here now. Man on bail murdered off Wolf Road. So, a man on bail was murdered on Lexington Avenue off Wolf Road on New Providence yesterday. Police say the victim was standing outside a home in the area around 5 p.m. when a dark-colored Japanese car pulled up. A gunman got out and started shooting. Chief Superintendent Shari King says the victim ran as the gunman continued shooting at him. He collapsed and died at the scene. Police again asking anybody with information to come forward if they have it. It's the 56th murder so far this year, coming on the heels of a violent weekend. As you may recall, 7 people shot, 2 of them died on Saturday in Ridgeland Park. That was also in the middle of the day. And later that night, another man murdered off Nassau Street. Yeah. Wow. Well, yesterday, police, along with other officials, in a very interesting ceremony, we've heard often over the years they've confiscated weapons and they destroy them, but then what happens? And is that ever enough? Well, apparently it's not. And take a listen to this very interesting report from our Vonik Toot.
Over 1,400 destroyed firearms were encased in concrete on Wednesday at the Internal Security Division of the police force. Minister of National Security Wayne Monroe called the encasement ceremony a deeply significant event and a first of its kind in the region.
We gather here today at the Internal Security Division of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, not merely to witness the process, but to participate in a powerful demonstration of this administration's commitment to addressing not only the final disposal of destroyed, illicit, obsolete, unsafe custody firearms in the Bahamas, but better stockpile management of government weapons. Today's activities come on the heels of the launch of the Mines Advisory Group, hereinafter MIG, policy framework, and that policy framework is to sustainably dispose of destroyed firearms and ammunition components in the Caribbean.
He emphasized that disabling or destroying a firearm alone is not enough.
The final disposal in the form of encasement cures this mischief, however, thus removing the onerous burden of the long-term storage of these remnants. I'm told you have about a container full of them, eh? In short, the only way to guarantee that a firearm will never be used again is to destroy it and properly dispose of the remnants.
U.S. Chargé d'Affaires Kim Furnish noted that firearms trafficking and illegal gun use impact both the United States and the Bahamas.
It's a grave issue. Criminal groups and drug traffickers continue to illicitly spread small arms and ammunition throughout the Caribbean, threatening our collective security, undermining regional stability, and driving irregular migration across the region. It's an urgent issue that we must continue to address together. I am proud that the United States has donated over $6 million to improve security and management of state-held munition stockpiles across the Caribbean. Together, we are working to create a more secure region.
The ceremony was made possible through the support of the Mines Advisory Group in partnership with CARICOM Impacts. Program coordinator Daniel Jamat warned that even confiscated or obsolete firearms can still be exploited if not completely destroyed.
If not destroyed beyond recovery, these parts can find their way back into circulation, undermining security, fueling armed violence, and threatening lives. By encasing these parts in concrete, we are making certain they are rendered permanently unusable. In this case, the encasement will also serve as the foundation for the new armory, an innovative approach that both prevents diversion and contributes to improved armory spacing and storage, strengthening physical security and stockpile management.
Officials say the encasement ceremony is not just about concrete and steel, but concrete action. Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Veronique Tude.
Okay, wow. It's something else. Although here they say that's the end now, but I still recommend they guard the concrete path 24/7 with security. But let's get your reaction to that, Laverne. What do you make of that?
I guess it's the most effective way to, once these weapons have been destroyed, to be able to store and deal with them. I don't know. Okay.
Well, hey,
I'm glad that I'm happy. Let me say that we have a better understanding of what's going to happen. We don't have to worry about someone breaking into the containers, something's missing, because I think the minister said that they have a container full. And so this exercise will, on the back end, I guess it does what it's supposed to do, which is make sure that these guns don't get back out on the street. And so that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
You say something?
Well, I'm curious to know if they have any idea as to how many of the guns they previously destroyed might have ended up back into circulation or used as part of some other gun.
Right. I just want to say the gun itself, maybe parts of it. We don't know. We don't have that data available to us. But going this extra measure so that they don't end up where they don't need to end up is good.
And the way things are looking around here, we're just going to have concrete all over New Providence, just everywhere, concrete path with gun graveyards. Oh, boy. Hey, let's get your reaction, folks. This is great, though. Great that those have been taken out of circulation. 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning to both of you, especially Laverne.
Oh, especially her. Yes, good morning.
Yeah, encasement in concrete. This ceremony is of the main problem we have in this country, because the metal could have been recycled for more better purposes, and now we have to pay someone to watch this tomb. This is ludicrous. Dwight, don't you think this isn't serious about tackling the crime issue, but just want to have ceremonial deflections?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Well, I would say that because it appears that way. Because that all that metal could have been used and recycled for a better purpose. Would you agree with that?
I'm not too sure. I really know very little about guns. I think that would have been a lot of work. I don't know. I mean, and then just
how would we do we have the facilities to be able to recycle that?
No, we don't. But we can we can make money. We can
by
income by having that recycled offshore.
Yeah, but you see, you're not sure it's going to get put into the right hands. It'll come back as a
The gun is going
gun.
to be melted down. The metal is going to be melted. It's going to be melted down and used to make cars or something of that nature.
Okay.
Gearboxes. Come on, man.
I mean, you're going to feel happy knowing that your Honda was part of a gun that probably killed somebody.
I wouldn't know about it.
Mm.
So how would I feel about it?
Mm-hmm.
But don't you, Dwight? We seem to have governments around the world having ceremonial deflections instead of dealing with the core issues. That appears to me.
Mm.
Huh?
Okay, I hear you. Thank you very much. Well, I mean, I think it was very symbolic. It's obviously a concern that these guns are coming back. That and doing more damage. And yeah, it is designed to send a message, but I hear you. I don't know. Let's take some more calls. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. This person says here this exercise encasement was a PR exercise to the highest order. Look, see what I do while actions tell us they could do more. Our politicians are movie actors and we are watching some very bad acting. Yeah, well, oh boy. The guns are destroyed. What else? What else y'all want? Well, people were saying that, right? Get the guns off the street. Where are they coming from? Get these guns off the street. Go and find them, and they've done it, but that's not pleasing the people who wanted that as well. Well, it's
you know what? I had a friend who used to say that you can find a problem for every solution, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say this. For the information that we have available, and I'm just going with what has been reported, this is a way to be able to ensure that guns are not, and they don't end up back on the streets. Are there maybe better ways? I don't know. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But this is a measure that is being used right now. And for what it's worth, I think that going this extra step is a good thing.
Yeah. I don't have any issue with it.
So
I mean, it is a bit of a show. It is, absolutely. But you need to show people what you're doing.
But Dwight, this is what happens. Okay, this is no more of a show than anything else that happens when government does something and they make a big deal about it, right? They have a ceremony and all of so this is like par for the course. Mm-hmm. This isn't anything greater than what has taken place before, right? So it's like you just said. Yeah, okay, so it's a bit of a show. Well, this is how if government quietly did stuff, we'd all be saying they're not doing anything.
Indeed.
Right?
Yeah.
So This is their way of letting the general public know, hey, we are doing something.
Yeah. This texture says here, the circus of wasting cement for the symbolic farce was all optics, but wonderful for the sheep. Oh, my goodness. Now, let's see the report on how the U.S. and Bahamas government are working on stronger legislation to punish smugglers and holders of these weapons. Mum's the word there. They think we dumb, but then again, simple folks think that was amazing.
Again, I don't believe that the government was saying that this is the resolution for gun smuggling, the proliferation of guns in this country. This is just them saying that this is another measure that they are doing to ensure that the guns that they've already confiscated don't return to the street. Do we still have a firearm issue? Absolutely. Do we need to make sure that we have stronger measures in place? Absolutely. We need to properly investigate how these guns are coming into the country by air, by sea. Yes, we need to do all of these things. But this here is just an additional measure that they're doing with the guns that they've already confiscated.
Yeah.
That's all we need to look at this. I don't think we need to read anything more into it than.
Yeah, this text says, Dwight, it looks like in this country, if you sell drugs or involved in human smuggling crimes, you get rewarded. Too many corrupt politicians, civil servants, pastors, police, judges. Wow, everybody. We have lost our country. We need to get rid of all the Moses. I think they're trying to say that's not how you spell that, corrupt crew. Okay. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but if the people you mean who are alleged or suspected to have been involved in those things, hey, I don't know if it's the Moses people who are their customers. I'm not saying that they don't need to go. I'm just saying it's they're celebrated by a lot of younger people as well, and so again, everybody needs to look at what they've done to contribute to where we are, and everybody's had a hand in it. Everybody. We'll take this final call on this. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi.
Dwight Levine. How you doing?
Doing well.
You know, I'm not surprised at what happened. It's what this government do. It markets success, and it has been the same thing for 4 years. See, what happens is, if they were who they say they are about development, they could have the money they spent on the concrete or spent on the concrete. They could have got a small shredder and put some young person in business that deals with shredding ferrous metal and different types of things, you know. So it's just lack of thinking.
No, that's what they're saying, though, right? They're not trusting people. They're not trusting people to do these things, and somebody could get in there.
Right. It's garbage. Because if that's the case, they shouldn't trust anybody for destroying the drugs. Maybe they're not destroying those because we didn't see them encased in anything. So there's a chain of custody that happens. You see the amount of people that stood just there just to watch them put them in concrete?
They had to make sure.
Yeah, right. But then guess what? The same people could make sure. If we are that incompetent, then we could just send the same amount of team of people and pull the machine there with the same cameras and shred them in a very small machine that can be pulled by a small truck. And these are innocent bits and pieces, you know, just in tiny shreds of pieces of that can be resold, and it's just show, just pure show. Mm-hmm. We need substance. We need governance. We need people who are capable of building a tomorrow today. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, like Laverne said, I mean, hey, we won't know that you're doing anything if we don't see the show. You might not like the performances, but this is what they feel is showing you that they're doing something. And hey, so this is a waste of a text. This person says here, so why not bury or punish the people who put the guns back on the street? You feel good about that text? I mean, what does that even mean? You think that's not happening, or are you trying to say that you need different penalties? Which one are you saying? Because it's odd. What about the gun smugglers? I wish the Americans would expose them. Why do you think we never crack any gun smuggling and human? That's not true though. What is this never? They seem to be a very protected group of people. Well, why don't you ask your son where he got that gun from? How about that? Ask your nephew. Ask cousin. Ask the one who shot the guy last night. Ask them. That might go a long way. We cannot have gun graveyards. We will have to create a tomb every couple of months. The solution is to melt the metal for reuse, or some can be used to create artificial reefs. Mm-hmm. Sounds nice. Okay. No one's ever going to be happy around here, Laverne. Nothing is going to ever get anybody.
Melting them or shredding them.
Somebody would have had a problem with that too, I bet. If they had a bit shredding
it's
exercise.
Something that could be, that could be looked into, and cost-wise, whatever. So, it's something that could be looked for. I won't dismiss it, but okay. All I'm saying is that's not what is happening right now. And is this putting them in cement so horrible?
Wow.
Like we've been left clutching our pearls.
Yeah,
Is it so horrible?
Everybody's very worked up. This final text as we go to the break. This person says here, blessed morning, Laverne and Guest. Wow. Okay.
Good morning.
I love it. Laverne and Guest. Garbage Dwight. So they do know who I am. Garbage Dwight.
Yeah.
They've been, or am I Garbage Dwight? Wait, when to know?
Well, it depends on where you pause.
It's blessed morning, Laverne and Guest, Garbage Dwight. Okay, so I'm the guest and garbage. They've been burning confiscated weed for generations. We could have been doing this 49 years ago. We want the officers and Defense Force officers who smuggle them in here. Boy, okay.
Absolutely. Yes.
What are you saying absolutely for? Which part?
I mean, okay,
There's some serious claims.
We want the people, whomever they are, responsible. We want them brought to justice. We want them. But this exercise here was just to show the additional measure that they're going to. It doesn't negate that we still have a problem that we need to make sure we find proper solutions for, and then the people who are guilty to be held to the highest extent of the law, if that means that we change the law, whatever. It does not negate that. It does not take away from that. But this exercise that took place is just an additional measure to ensure that what they have, again, does not get back to the street.
Yeah, maybe we can beautify the area. Some nice flowers along the pathway.
Some good suggestion.
Yeah.
Suggestions, shredding, melting. I don't really know how that works, but I guess that could be explored. If anybody's listening, maybe you want to explore that. But this is what they're doing right now. And it seems to be that we're not the only country that has adopted this or is doing this. And I'm not justifying it saying
a first of its kind in the region. So, oh well.
In this region.
Yeah. All right. So as we go to the break, the text says, "Oh no, Dwight, no, you're not garbage. I rushed the text. I was rushing." Okay. Good to know. Thank you so much. Feel so much better. We're gonna take a break. This is whoa. Okay, what's happening? Too many guns in the land. Which song is no? Okay, let's go to the break. Not gunshots. Wow. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Spend and stay this summer with CIBC Caribbean. Experience summer like never before when you spend with your CIBC Caribbean Visa credit card. The lucky winner will receive the gift of relaxation and summer fun with a $3,000 travel voucher, a $1,000 cash prize, or a $500 spa gift certificate. Each time you spend $150 or more, you'll automatically be entered for your chance to win. Spend today with your CIBC Caribbean Visa credit card. Terms and conditions apply. Visit CIBCCaribbean.com/summer spend and stay. Promotion ends September 30th, 2025.
Get ready to catch the thrill and win with Shell. Fuel up with $20 or more and unlock your shot at unforgettable prizes.
We're talking regatta trips to Exuma and Harbor Island.
Free fuel, grocery vouchers, water park passes, and more. Just snap your receipt and WhatsApp it to us at 242-422-0271. The vibes are high, the prizes are hot, and the summer is yours to win with Shell. Only at participating Shell stations in Nassau. Now through August 22nd. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to feel the fire. Free National Movement invites you to Zone Meeting East. It's going down Tuesday, August 19th at 7 p.m. at Charles Edward Carter Park, Charles Saunders Highway. Meet your F&M candidates. Dr. Nicholas Fox, Fox Hill. Dr. Jackie Penn Knowles, Marathon. Ellsworth Johnson, Yamacraw. Adrian White, St. Anne's. F&M Deputy Leader, Shannon Cartwright. And your future Prime Minister, F&M Leader, Michael C. Pintar. See you Tuesday, August 19th at Charles Edward Carter Park, Charles Saunders Highway. See you there!
Shop early to get your uniforms and catch Janae's Uniform Center's buy 4 get 1 free sale. Pre-monogrammed and regular school shirts, dry fit and cotton polos, jumpers, skirts, boys long and short pants, PE shorts, underclothes, tights, socks, neckties, belts, sleeping mats, hair accessories, and character work desk. Get 50% off backpacks, lunch bags, and raincoats. Buy 4 school shirts, get 1 free. Buy 2 skirts, jumpers, or pants, get the third 50% off. Need embroidery and monogramming done? Visit Janae's Uniform Center early. Beat the back-to-school rush. Janae's Chesapeake Road back-to-school special. Restrictions apply.
Tell them. Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
So much work to do. Work, work.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, along with Laverne Gardner, or is that Laverne Gardner along with guest Dwight Strachan on this Thursday morning. And switching gears now, we're going to talk with the Bahamian Contractors Association. They've got some exciting things going on, but we also are going to have a conversation that Leonard Sands promised that he would do with us after calling in a few weeks back. So we're very pleased to have Leonard Sands and Debbie Deal with us this morning. Good morning. Great to see you all again.
Good morning. Good morning.
It's great to be here.
Twice in a day.
Hey, you're going to be back this evening.
Yes, sir.
But we're also going to talk about the contractor certification course. So we're going to get to that in a little bit. But Leonard, we know you're very busy. Let's get into it. So you called in a few weeks ago as we were talking about work permits, and you talked about it, the lack of certain necessary skills that you aren't seeing with Bahamians. And this is one of the reasons why we have to have foreign workers at work sites. Let's talk more about that and what we're doing about it. Are we just continuing to bring in the foreign workers, or are we actually training Bahamians to do these jobs?
All right, Dwight. So part of the comment that I had about our work permit situation, and I want to let the public know, it's incredibly, I wouldn't say complex, but it is challenging. On one of the things that we have to appreciate, when I say we, I'm talking about everyone in society, the politician, the citizen, and everyone who's involved, that the rate of construction that we have in this developing nation is unparalleled. While there may be pockets where there seem not to be enough happening, it's because they don't see the works that's happening in places they don't go. In the Southern Bahamas, there's hundreds of millions of dollars worth of infrastructure work going on the Keys. And so, okay, so what does that mean? Who do you need? You need people who are trained in underground cabling and piping. Where are we training those? So you need electricians, right? And let's say a project may need 100 electricians who are certified as, entry-level electricians, but understand the capacity of doing electrical work at that level. And you may find some of them being trained at PTVI, and they're doing as good a job as they can. But in most cases, the volume of workers that a project needs when you combine all the works going on is sometimes outside of the capacity that we can supply. And then secondly, when you look at the number of types of jobs that are needed in a high-rise building, you have HVAC, mechanical, drywall, stucco application to the exterior of the building, low voltage wiring and cable connections, all your fire protection systems, all your drainage system. It's about 16 divisions of specialty trade. Now, this is where the challenge comes in. There's 16 divisions of specialty trades needed in every single high rise. And you need about, to build a building that's an Aquilina, 9 stories, probably about 150,000 square foot of raw space, 60-something condos. You need a staff of about 450 persons on that site to carry out the work of these 16 divisions of specialized trades. That's not the general labor yet. Where are you going to find them? So our problem is real. It's a real problem we have, and I think the Prime Minister and the people at immigration, they know that it's a real challenge. My challenge that we have in the Contractors Association is oftentimes when we dig into the numbers of immigration, we don't see on the books the application for specialized skills. We see 4,000, 5,000 general laborers. General laborer is someone who has absolutely no skill, and I can tell them, oh, go pick up that piece of wood, go bring me that hammer, go dig a ditch, move this. We should have, our view in the BCA is that those jobs really, really, really can be taken up by all the persons who come out of high school, can't find anything else to do, the unemployed persons who decide to transition and find another career, and they could take up those jobs. We shouldn't see the amount of unskilled work permits in the thousands. I think that's our first challenge. Now, the final part, what are we doing? The government launched a national apprenticeship program as a pilot to see if they could address the skills gap by aligning entrants with directly into the workforce. And the BCA partnered with them to find them employers who could take them on for a year, train them in those skills areas. And that's the first step. But like we told the directors of the program, it's not nationally big enough. So we had a meeting yesterday with the directors of the Ministry of Education and said, realistically, to really fix this challenge, we need to start early. And when I say early, we're talking with from right or someone comes out of the 6th grade and goes into 7th grade, their path should be into a trade area if they desire that. Now, when we say if they desire that, Dwight, if I'm in school and you give me a choice, okay, at grade 7, here's your path. You could be a doctor, lawyer, accountant, or plumber. You see that? I have a choice. 12th grade, I could come out as being prepared to go into tertiary as a doctor, lawyer, accountant, or I could be qualified with the trade skill to be a plumber when I graduate from high school. That's what I'm talking about, with the path. We need to create pathways for young people who could go directly into the trade so we could stem this consistent flow of always needing foreign skilled labor.
If I could build onto that. So it's not that when you go into grade 7, you're going to start thinking, gosh, what am I going to do with my life? You're 12 years old. You know, that's not going to happen. It's the person who is doesn't do really well in school, could have a genius IQ, but doesn't do well. They may not be getting supported at home. They may not, they may not have even eaten that day. You don't know what the situation is with persons, right? You have no idea. And they're not getting any accolades because they're not good at school. They may not be good at sports. So they're kind of like they're the forgotten ones in the class.
Yeah.
I was one of those. So I understand what it's like, right? Those persons need to be able to do something in those 4 or 5 years that they have left, that they have to stay in school, where they can actually excel in something. It could be carpentry. I'm going to get out of the construction industry, but it could be agriculture. It could be mechanics. There's a number of things that it could be, and it's mostly our young boys and our young men that are in this situation. If we, through the Bahamian Contractors Association and the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Works, if we can create a course where kids could actually say, all right, this sounds like I could have fun with this. This is not sitting there reading a book and not understanding what's going on.
Yeah.
This is actually working with my hands, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm dexterous. I'm not an academic. You and I just had a conversation before we started that I'm not a techie, and he goes, "Oh, really?" So
it's surprising.
you just don't know, and that's what we need to do. That's how we could get these persons that are just they're just falling off.
Yeah, but even Debbie, Leonard, I think even people who are good students,
Yes.
if they knew that this is where the
Yes.
jobs are,
Correct, but
they might be saying, "Well, why am I wasting time thinking about being a lawyer?"
Right. Leonard will tell you how much a good carpenter is going
Right.
to make $650, $850 a week. There's money in it.
Are we doing enough education, Leonard, to let people know that this is where the job demand is? This is where we really need people. And we don't need any more lawyers.
Well, we had a meeting yesterday with Director Russell, and we've come up with a program. Leonard will talk about it. We're going to do an MOU between the BCA and the Ministry of Education. So,
Yeah.
Leonard, go.
Tell us more about that, if you can. Did we lose Leonard?
He should be there.
Oh, boy. Okay, Laverne, you were saying something? Did we lose both of them?
Uh-oh.
Was, but I can hear Leonard. Okay.
Okay, and we're back. Leonard?
We're here.
Oh, we lost you for
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yeah, so we were saying, are we doing enough to let people know that this is
good.
where the jobs, this is where all the jobs, this is where we need people?
Well, no. The flat out answer is no. No. And it's not the fault of anyone. Let me say that. Because it's by that, okay, we are the main Practice Association. The government
You're in and out, Leonard.
knows.
Not sure what's going on with the connection. Laverne, you're having that issue as well? Yeah.
No, I can hear. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
One thing that
But what I'm saying is, I think it may be on your side because I'm able to hear Leonard clearly, no breaks, nothing.
And I can hear you guys clearly.
We can hear you.
Oh boy.
So it may be an issue on your end.
Well, yesterday, one of the things that they said is they just don't have enough persons who could actually train. And we came up with a couple suggestions as to what we can actually do to actually alleviate that problem.
Yeah.
So,
Leonard, are you there? Okay,
Yeah.
so tell us about that. Before we have to go to the news, we've got a minute. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So Dwight, the real, and that's what I'm speaking about. The real challenge is they don't have enough trainers in the technical or vocational skilled areas, because for their particular area, let's say if you want to train somebody as a plumber, that person needs to be a qualified plumber and have a teaching certificate to teach in a public high school. Think about it if you want to do drywall, or if you want to do carpentry, if you want to do masonry. That person also have to be a mason with a teacher certificate. So let's just think about which masons or carpenters or electricians or plumbers would also have a teaching certificate. You're going to go down to about maybe 3 you could find across the entire country. And so out of the 160, I think, 2 schools, Debbie,
yes,
they say that 16 schools that offer vocational / or technical pathways because of the lack of trained individuals who could offer the vocational skill and also qualify as being a teacher in the Ministry of Education system. So that is the biggest challenge. That right there is the thing that between the Ministry of Education and Bahamian Contracts Association, we have to solve.
Yeah.
So our offer was, we're going to survey our existing membership of all the contractors in the country, find out, because we don't know, we never asked, does anyone have a teaching certificate who is a plumber, electrician, a welder, a fabric, whoever. And once we create that database, we give that to the Ministry of Education. Say, okay, now this school doesn't have a program, but we got a welder here who has a teaching certificate. Can we do a welding program at this school? This school here, you need a carpentry program. I got a carpenter with a teaching certificate. And then finally, we ask them a question. How do we get the tradespeople who may have all of the abilities but don't have the teaching certificate? How do we create a pathway for them to get a teaching certificate without them having to do 5 years at the University of Bahamas to get a teaching certificate? Like, can we create a hybrid so they could get the teaching certificate?
All
So
right.
that's one of the things that they're thinking about.
All right, we're going to explore this when we come back after the news. This is Morning Blend. We're talking with the Bahamian Contractors Association. Stay with us.
This is Guardian Radio. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us, because we've got you covered.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9, streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:25, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by NUA Insurance. So we've got a heat warning in effect for most of the country, for the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands. In fact, the Southeast Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands will experience a severe heat wave, while the rest of the country will experience excessive heat. So the severe heat wave means feel like temperatures above 112 Fahrenheit to as high as 122 Fahrenheit. And for the rest of the country, the excessive heat feel like temperatures above 102 up to 111. And that will continue for the next 3 to 5 days. So more on that in just a bit. High pressure ridging continues to dominate weather across the country, supporting gentle to fresh breezes, high temperatures and typical summertime weather. So expect a few isolated passing showers of thunderstorms, mainly over the central Bahamas and in the afternoons. So that ridging pattern is expected to continue till at least Sunday, and then as Tropical Storm Erin, likely to be Hurricane Erin by that time, moves closer to the area, expect an increase in clouds and shower activity and winds for the early part of next week. So for today, again, the heat advisory, heat warning in effect, and everyone's being advised to limit outdoor activities during the peak sunlight hours or wear loose-fitting, light-colored clothing, hydrate, and don't forget the sunglasses and sunscreen. So for today, for most areas, mostly sunny during the day, fair at night. For the Central Islands, cloudy periods during the day. Look for high temperatures around 93 Fahrenheit, 34 Celsius, but the heat index will make it feel like it's 105 Fahrenheit, 41 Celsius for the northern, northwest, and central Bahamas, and for the southeastern islands as high as 123 Fahrenheit, 51 Celsius. Wow. In your extended outlook for tomorrow, Friday, partly sunny with a few cloudy periods. Turning fair at night, only about a 10 to 20% chance of showers for the northwest and northern Bahamas, 20 to 30% chance for the central and southeast Bahamas. By Saturday, a mix of sun and clouds becoming fair at night across all areas, about a 20 to 30% chance of showers. Sunday, partly sunny during the day, becoming fair at night for the northern and northwest Bahamas, mostly cloudy in the central and southeast Bahamas. And Monday, you might start feeling the effects of Erin, which would be to the east of us, especially in the central and southeast Bahamas. With Tropical Storm Erin, we're watching it closely, likely to become a hurricane by tomorrow. As of this morning, Erin, about 990 miles east of the northern Leeward Islands. Erin is moving towards the west at 17 miles per hour. It's expected to continue on this motion today, with a west-northwest motion beginning tonight and continuing into the weekend. On the forecast track, the center of Erin is likely to move near or just north of the Leeward Islands, the northern Leeward Islands, by this weekend. Maximum sustained winds are near 50 miles per hour, and gradual strengthening is expected over the next day or so. So by Monday and Tuesday, Erin would still be east of the Bahamas, but tropical storm force winds are likely to be experienced for most of the country, especially islands closer to the Atlantic. So keep that in mind. We'll keep you posted on this, but stay tuned to the Guardian News Network and the Department of Meteorology for the latest developments with Erin. That is your morning blend weather check. Weather check also brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Looking to paint? Well, your local Sherwin-Williams store has top quality paints, expert advice, and everyday discounts to help you save only at Sherwin-Williams. And time for a check of traffic brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your ideas happen here. In your real-time traffic, we're seeing heavy traffic on Milo Butler Highway from well north of the Fire Trail roundabout as you approach Harold Pond, all the way up to Tawnique-Williams-Darling Highway. Traffic backed up a bit for you along Tawnique-Williams-Darling Highway as well. That's westbound to that roundabout. Prince Charles Drive, seeing some slow-moving traffic at the major intersection, so that's west of Beatrice Avenue, heading into Soldier Road, and some slow-moving traffic on Robinson as you get closer to Marathon. Village Road as well, we're seeing some pockets of slow-moving traffic just north of the intersection with Bernard Wolfe and Soldier Road. That's both directions, north and southbound of Parkgate Road. And pockets along Shirley Street, slow westbound traffic. That's real-time traffic and your Morning Band Traffic Alert, also brought to you by Anyway Insurance Agents and Brokers. The kids have pencils, glue sticks, and fresh notebooks on their back-to-school supply list this month. Let NUA Insurance help you tick one thing off your grown-up supply list when it comes to car insurance, home insurance, or hurricane coverage. NUA will be popping up at Center Court at the Mall of Marathon this Saturday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m., answering your insurance questions, helping you to sign up for their full-service online portal, and sending you off with a little freebie. Because adults deserve supplies too. NUA makes insurance make sense. Saturday at the Mall of Marathon. Just ask NUA.
This October, Bahama invites you to indulge your senses at the Culinary and Arts Festival, where world-class flavors meet breathtaking creativity in the heart of the Bahamas. Join us October 22nd through 26th for an unforgettable celebration featuring culinary legends Marcus Samuelson, Dario Zucchini, Simeon Hall Jr., and Scott Conant, alongside a vibrant lineup of chefs and mixologists. Explore captivating art installations, interactive workshops, and live performances, all set against the stunning backdrop of Nassau's premier luxury resort. From curated tasting events to beachfront feasts and immersive gallery experiences, this is more than a festival. It's a feast for the soul. Tickets and packages are going fast. Visit bahamar.com to reserve your spot at the Culinary and Arts Festival at Bahamar, where taste and talent take center stage.
Don't shop at Sherwin-Williams then. Don't get the best service in the Bahamas then.
The love is really, really strong in Sherwin-Williams. We don't just sell paint. We service you with a smile, good hearts, mind, soul, and body. And we love our customers as much as we love ourselves.
Yes, real talk.
I'm not just saying this
Real talk.
to impress myself.
We love to go beyond with customer service. So they feel delighted to come in Sherwin-Williams because they know I can either see Dee Dee, or I can see Shelly, or one of our other wonderful staff members. We treat our customers with the respect of our boss because there are many paint companies they could choose to go to. No, baby. If they go to some other paint companies, so I'm going to get this little thing at the end of the week.
We want to make sure you get that little ting, Shelley. Come visit Shelley and Dee Dee at Sherwin-Williams Bahamas, and you'll surely find color in every day.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice. It's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
With RBC,
your ideas become plans.
your plans become memories.
This is retirement. And your dreams become your life.
Whether it's planning that family vacation, owning your dream home, or retiring comfortably, your ideas are everything. And RBC is here to help make them happen. With RBC, your ideas happen here.
Things may be tough, but Wendy's got you covered. Grab a day single or chicken sandwich with a junior fries and 16-ounce beverage for just $6.95. Why choose less from the other guys when you can get more? At Wendy's, we're providing bigger bites and better deals. So purchase your Tings Tough Value Meal today. Now available at all locations excluding the airport and food truck.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
I can
And we are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. And we are talking with the Bahamian Contractors Association. We're going to find out more about their contractor certification course in just a bit. But we've got Leonard Sands, Debbie Deal, and we're joined now by John Michael Clark as well. Good morning. Great to have you all with us again. So we were having a great conversation before we broke for news. And Leonard, we want to pick up on this about the need for specialty workers in this field. And these are some big challenges there. So do we have any idea whether there are Bahamians who are interested in these but just don't have the skills? Do we have any idea what the numbers look like?
I think that we have to conduct an in-depth survey to kind of ascertain the exact numbers. For us to assume that persons would not want to have a career path which earns them plus $50,000 a year, upwards to $100,000 a year, you have to assume that most Bahamians would want that if they're in the ages between 18 and 45, right? Let's make that general assumption.
Yeah.
Let's also make the general assumption that 9 out of 10 young boys, if I want to just be specific to that age group, that graduate high school every year, that don't matriculate into the University of Bahamas or are afforded an opportunity to go off and get tertiary education abroad, will end up in construction. They're not going to be in the banks and in the clothing stores and in the retail spaces. Those are really going to be filled with their female counterparts.
Mm-hmm.
So 95% of those young men are going to end up seeking employment in construction. So I think what we recognize is an incredible opportunity to harness harness this group of thousands of young men and train them into an area as early as possible where they could be productive and successful members of society. And as we recognize all around the world, the need for vocational skills is outpacing the need for what we're going to say soft skills.
Mm-hmm.
You need plumbers, you need electricians, you need HVAC techs. You can't build anything without skilled trade labor. So I think that the Ministry of Education and the government is recognizing this challenge. And I think the partnership between the Contractors Association, which represents all the trade industries, working with education and immigration and labor to develop programs that could kind of provide the training that is necessary. Because until we do so, we will have to continue this pace of importing thousands of skilled persons into this country and then complaining about it.
Wow. And these are jobs that are less likely to be replaced with AI, right?
Absolutely cannot.
Can't.
Construction is one of those spaces. We have this talk about it in our board meeting all the time. You could talk about all kind of stuff. AI is not going to go there and set a block the way that a human can. AI is not going to go there and install drywall or painting. You could do a lot of things with AI and soft skills. But when it comes to that human element, construction is still going to be the last stand for AI. I can tell you that right now.
All right, so you mentioned, I think it was 16 specialty trades,
16
right?
specialty trades.
Can you name some of them?
John Michael, at this point, we let John Michael jump in there because outside of his profession of being a estimated quantity surveyor of the highest degree, he can talk to you about what the course outlines and also what those specialty trades, what people don't appreciate in construction, relate to.
Okay, John Michael, tell us about those 16. I'd love to know, and I think people need to hear what these are.
The 16 divisions in construction.
Good morning. There are 16, and it depends. The truth of the matter is, it depends on what standard that you're using. If you use the English standard, they have the 16 divisions that are very common. If you use the American standard, the CSI standard, there are as many as 38 divisions. But the more common ones, of course, you have your concrete, you have your masonry, you have your thermal and moisture protection, you have your carpentry, which a lot of people are familiar with. Of course, the plumbing, electrical, HVAC, you have your elevator specialties, you have your structural steel and your steel contractors, you have roofing specialists, you have stone specialists, You have painting specialties, tilers, drywalls.
Cabinetry?
So carpentry, I did say carpentry, yeah.
Oh,
And so
I said cabinetry, sorry.
cabinetry,
Yeah.
joinery.
Yeah.
So there is a number of areas that persons can get specific vocational training in, and what the Bahamas Contractors Association is seeking to do is to lay the groundwork. So persons that want to get into the industry at the trade level, that's an avenue for you to get in at the trade level, but more specifically, where there is a deficit is in the administration and construction management skills as well. So the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute, they're addressing some of the trade needs, while the BCA is, along with them, addressing some of the management administrative needs that the contractors need to improve the overall health of the industry.
All right, so Leonard, based on what you said earlier about the number of jobs, especially in the southern Bahamas, would we still need to, even if we did have everybody with a specialized trade, would we have enough people to do these jobs, or would we still need to have folks with work permits?
And in a perfect scenario, considering the divisions that John Michael had broken out, right? If we, just for example, if we had every year, like in Jamaica and other Caribbean countries, where a cohort of all high school students graduated in just 3 areas, let's say carpentry, electrical, and HVAC, just 3 areas. Let's say you got out of the, 5,000 students that graduate every year, 50% of them are boys, 50% are girls, just for averages. You're talking about 2,500 a year. Over 5 years. Over 5 years, you're talking about you almost got 10,000. So that's just in those 3 areas. So now you had capacity in 5 years. The next 3 years, you add another 3 courses to the availability of training that's offered. And so that's always been my position. My position in the Bahamian Contractors Association is, if we start with a targeted approach and just don't go for all of them, pick 3 areas and have a national drive to get as many young people, and we want young people, go into the trade areas, graduate them with the competency to go on the job on day one and perform, we will see a significant reduction in our need to import labor. Because I'll tell you from the business standpoint, importing someone to do drywall or painting or electrical comes with a higher cost than the individual who's already in the Bahamas. You have to house them. In most cases, if they're doing work on a family island, you have to feed them 3 meals a day. You have to pay a work permit for them. And sometimes it comes with a car, and sometimes it comes with living accommodation. It's a lot. So the general employment work companies, they would desire to employ local. But if they can't find them, they have no other choice but to go outside that space and to get their projects completed.
Now, a common cry, you hear people say, well, a lot of these companies will not pay the Bahamian as much as they would pay the foreigner. Is that fair to say? Is that accurate? Is that what's going on? And why would that be the case?
I think that's a prevailing assumption. John Michael has been managing projects for the government in the tens of millions of dollars, and sometimes up into 50 plus millions of dollars. And I think we can't say that is an absolute fact. I think one of the things that you don't appreciate with that, if an individual came from, let's say, New York, he's been building hurricane shelters for the last 30 years his career, and you get a local counterpart, he's the same, category level, but he's had 5 years experience building hurricane shelters. You could see where I'm making a case where that individual would have a greater capacity to get a little more requests on what he's being paid, because while they may be at the same level in terms of education, all that stuff, but 30 years experience in this construction game is a whole lot more than 5 years experience in the construction game. So I think those are the kind of conversations that happen, and then they're carried into the public where people get this idea, oh, well, I know this guy, they brought him in, and he's making $210,000 a year, and I know this payment, he's only making $150. Well, there's some specific differences that may contribute to that conversation.
Well, also, Leonard, don't forget, when the person comes from away, the part of the $210,000 is their living expenses, is their work permit, is their car, is schools for their kids to go to. I mean, all of those things are included in their salary. So when you take all that out, the salaries are probably equal.
The same thing.
But it's the expense of bringing persons in. It's not the job.
That's correct. That'd be a very good point. That's correct.
All right, we got some calls coming in. I know, Leonard, we don't have you for too much longer, but I know this is what we were talking about the last time when you called in, that it cannot be that some of the people we see on the back of the trucks in the morning are the skilled workers. So what else is happening that Bahamians aren't aware of in your sector?
Well, I'll be very honest with you. I think we look at the individuals on the back of a truck. Let's say they're on the back of a landscaping truck, right? And I think we take for granted that they are skilled persons. Because I can tell you, if I actually go to Dwight and I name off 5 different types of species of plants to plant in a certain plant, you wouldn't know which one to even pick up. You see that? So we make an assumption. We see a bunch of guys, whether they be from South America or south of the Bahamas, and they're on the back of a landscaping truck, and we see them 30, almost 40 on the back of a truck. All of them have been trained by their employer to know exactly what to do when they jump off the truck. And what I'm saying is the opportunity, I believe, exists for us to take a same group of 50, 60, 100 young boys, I don't care what they don't know, and if you give them interface with the work, you could train them the same way. Our biggest challenge is that we have to start making a national effort to train aggressively in mass our young people. Until we do so, we continue to have the challenge.
Yeah, okay. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Very pleasant good morning, Dwight. How are you, sir?
Doing well.
And to your guests, very pleasant good morning. Very interesting conversation. I have a question for them, and it's a couple of them. First one, Dwight, is it as cut and dry as the skill set deficiency here? And I ask that to qualify or expand on that. There's a project on Shirley Street and East Street, the big one. Everybody knows about it. There was a significant amount of labor imported from Turkey, for example. And I understand that there may be special circumstances considering who the property belongs to. But laborers, there were hundreds, maybe even a couple thousand there that worked on that project. Are we supposed to believe that even the non-skilled, certified in whatever parts of construction that I'm not familiar with, that we couldn't find Bahamians to work on that project? And as an association, do you interact with the government agencies, labor and immigration, when a large amount of foreign labor is brought in? Do you voice your concerns about that? Because, I mean, the Bahama project, the Atlantis project, there's an area on West Bay Street where groups of laborers gather after work on Friday evenings now. There's a huge amount of them. And is it straight across the board that it's not skilled labor? Or is it that the cost is cheaper for people on certain projects where it's cheaper for them to bring people in? It's not always that $210,000 that you all gave an illustration of. Sometimes it's more. Kids, school, insurance, work permit, raises depending on that are built into salaries depending on how long these people are here. And my last point, Dwight, is I know that with immigration, some instances, they require, if there is a need for a company to bring in skilled labor, that there used to be a prerequisite that a Bahamian would shadow or work serve as an apprentice. So as whatever the reason was for bringing these people in, maybe we could minimize it. Is that still the case on the construction side. And I'll hang up and listen. Just very confusing, but still very interesting.
Okay, there's a lot of points there. Hopefully everyone can remember all of them.
I want to add something just quickly, and then Leonard he's a genius in the BCA. You don't know when a foreign entity comes in to do something, you don't know what arrangement they have made with the government. You don't know if they've made an arrangement that they could bring in a certain percentage of their persons on the job to do the job because they may be paying them like maybe the American Embassy was paying them from the United States, not being paid here. We don't know those things. So unless we were privy to that kind of information, we would not be able to answer that question totally. You know what I mean? We could assume something, but when you assume something, you know what that really means, right? So
Wow.
Leonard, you go ahead.
Yeah, and yeah, thanks, Debbie. And I think that's a good point. I think though, speaking specifically now, this is where you asked a very good question, and John Michael is aware of all these instances as well. And you know the project we talked about, it's the U.S. Embassy, right?
Mm-hmm.
The embassy is a totally different, kettle of fish. Because that's technically U.S. soil. And when they're building an embassy, none of the rules that govern how we do things in the Bahamas apply. So that's outside our ambit. They could determine that they have a trade partner in Bosnia, and the rate of pay in Bosnia is 2 cents a day, and they want them on their project. That's their ambit. When it comes to national projects like the Bahama, the Atlantis, and wherever else going on in the country, I think the point has to be made, and it's a very good point raised by the caller. There should be more interaction to determine first, do we have the in-country skilled labor if it's required? And also, if we don't have the in-country, which has always been the position of the BCA, okay, let's log that. And what do we do when we know that? Let's say they want to do another hotel like what they're doing on Paradise Island now, and they say they need 400 more plumbers. And they did the survey, and they said, well, we only got 200 plumbers here. Well, we know now we need another 200. The question I've always had, what should then be the response of the Department of Labor? What should then be the response of the Department of Labor and Immigration in conjunction with BDVI and the BCA to say, hey, we know we need 200 more plumbers. What do we do now? What's the next step? And so that's the action plan that I think we need to push between the BCA and the collaboration through the Ministry of Education and the government of Bahamas to address the systematic shortfalls, to alleviate them as possible so that the next project comes up, we don't consistently hear, even the Prime Minister saying now, we have a trade labor shortfall. We have to address that, so that can't be the story we continue to tell.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's okay, I'd just like to add one thing.
Yes.
This year is my 40th year in construction.
Yeah.
And over
Yeah, I've known for at least 30 of it.
So you can't pretend to be 45 years old anymore.
Over those 40 years, the truth of the matter is that the Bahamian vocational entity has diminished.
Yeah.
In every sector of construction.
Yes.
You scarcely find local carpenters, local masons, and it's diminished inversely to the explosion of the population. So our numbers are really, really down. And the truth of the matter is that a lot of it is exposure. Persons aren't aware that where to go for vocational training.
Mm-hmm.
Two is availability to get properly trained. In the 80s when I started, it wasn't uncommon for persons to send their youngsters during the summer to work with an uncle or somebody who was a mason or a carpenter. It was still fashionable for them to go and learn the trade.
Yes.
It isn't that way anymore.
Wow.
No.
And then at the management level, a lot of people don't know that, hey, you don't have to be a mason, you could be a quantity surveyor. or you could study construction management, or there are other jobs in construction that you can do. But across the board, the Bahamian interest in construction trades has been diminishing. So it's something that we have to be very, very deliberate about. And we got to take the stigma away that if you're using your hands, somehow you're doing something that is less.
Yeah.
That's not the case. So we have to get past that.
Okay.
And
Yeah. Leonard, before you go, let's take this call. And good morning, caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Dwight. I'll try to fast talk, but I'll put it to you. It goes straight back in. And yesterday you misquoted me. We'll talk on that a little bit further. But on this particular point, I got the most embarrassing experience of my life, right? When I was showing a distributor, international distributor, we were driving around and I was showing him the Bahamas project. I showed him the Atlantis project. And this is what the international distributor said to me. It always stuck with me, He said, look, what percentage of Bahamians are benefiting from this project when you look at all the foreign labor? And I knew where he was heading with that. And he said, look, anytime a government has to bring in this amount of foreign labor to complete a project, common sense should dictate that you should slow it down so the majority of the locals could benefit from the project. And we haven't really done a good job. We haven't done a good job at all with this thing about bringing in foreign labor. We still have persons, right, in the country making money who was here from the first Atlantis Phase 1 project. Phase 1. They're still here making money, competing against locals. But I'll also say this. We have 5,000 persons graduating from high school each year. It should have been an assertive, aggressive, deliberate attempt to engage all of those high schools in the technical area of construction. But they're not doing it. They're not doing it, and we could have done it. You're talking about 50 out of 5,000. We could have been producing hundreds of young men and women in the construction field if these contractors and investors were not so greedy. But it's greed that is permeating this thing, because we could do it. We have BTVI right here, right now, who are producing these people. But these people who are in the construction, they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. Too much high school in the Bahamas for us to be talking about the important foreign labor. Too much.
Yeah.
And he knows it. And he got to deal with it.
You also have to think about how much money actually comes in to the government through work permits. Unfortunately.
Absolutely. That's gotta be a factor
but
here.
that's something that we need to try to come up with another source of income for them, like vacant land should be taxed. That's Deputy Deals saying, not BCA saying, so that they, those work permits aren't necessary for the budget for us.
Yeah. All right. So Leonard, you have to go, but we're going to, Debbie and John Michael are going to stick around as we get into the contractor certification course.
Right.
Leonard Sands, thank you so much for being with us this morning. And we keep us posted. I'm sure the Director of Education will talk with us about that as well.
Yes.
And we want to help you get the education about how glamorous it can be to be in this field. But thank you very much. And Debbie and Leonard are going to be on tonight.
Yes.
Nailed it. Right here on Guardian Radio.
And Michael as well.
PM.
John Michael as well.
All
yes.
right, excellent.
Yeah.
So stick around. There's a lot more to talk about in business. Again, the contractor's certification course. We're going to find out more about that in just a bit. We're back after this news break. Stay with us.
All right. Thanks.
Looking for your dream job in paradise? At Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, we're hiring. And with over 200 positions available, we're confident you'll find your perfect fit. Whether you're passionate about keeping guests safe as a lifeguard, or if mixing up refreshing cocktails as a bartender is more your speed, there's a spot waiting just for you. Visit Royal Beach Club at paradiseisland.com/career to explore openings and apply today.
Who's the real MVP of the soil, the hero of the harvest? The Agrarian Awards 2025 is here, and we want you to nominate the farmer who's growing greatness in your community. 8 categories up for grabs and a chance to win up to $50,000 in cash prizes. Brought to you by the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources and the Agricultural Development Organization, honoring the hands that feed the nation. Visit adobahamas.org to submit your nomination for the Agrarian Awards 2025.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, August 14th, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner, and we are talking with the Payment Contractors Association, having an extended conversation with them this morning. So many things to talk about. But right now we're going to focus on the contractor certification course that is for next week.
Yes, it is Monday through Wednesday.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
That's
And
Debbie Deal, and we've got John Michael Clark with us, and we'll
Yes.
continue talking with them. All right, so give us the background on this contractor certification course. Why a contractor certification course?
Well, I'm going to let John Michael discuss this because I know why, but as a contractor, I understand why. And when we've listened to our customers that call us on Nailed It, we understand that there's a lot of problems out there because contractors really don't know how to estimate. They don't know how to deal with their money. They don't know how to do contracts properly. And so, John Michael, it's all on you.
Wait, is it that bad, John Michael? Is that a lot of people, or is that widespread, not knowing how to do the estimates properly, or what are we seeing?
Well, the thing is that you have a lot of good tradespeople, and at some point, they wake up one morning and decide, hey, you know what? I've been doing this for Mr. So-and-so for many years. He's making all the money. I can do this for myself and make as much money as he does.
That's exactly what happens.
He may be the best carpenter in the world, but the minute you put him in charge of a whole job, or he realizes that being a general contractor is more than just getting the work done, that's when he gets into trouble. And that is very common. And it isn't that, these are bad people. Sometimes they just lack the skills that are needed for them to run a general contractor's practice. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to enable them through knowledge to help persons who want to graduate from being a good tradesman, or persons that are already in the field that have small contracting agencies that want to expand and improve. We want to equip them so that they perform better as general contractors in the space.
Yeah. All right. So let's take a little step back. So I know the answer to this, unfortunately, I know the answer. But can anybody just call themselves a contractor?
Yes, that's absolutely true, because right now the act has passed, but the board has not been done to register and license contractors. So anybody can go and pay $150 and get a business license, right? They can call that business anything they want to. They could add construction to anything on that. And so then all they have is business license. They do not have a construction license. They're not registered with any construction agency. The best that they could be is certified by, like, let's say certified by the BCA. But no, none of them, there's not one single licensed contractor in this country.
And that's not that's not the optimum situation. You don't want that to be.
Well, no, when somebody builds a house, it's one of the most expensive things that they actually do in their whole life. You have doctors, you have lawyers, you have engineers, you have architects, you have electricians, you have plumbers. They're all licensed. And we have to hire all of them. And we're not licensed. It doesn't make sense. And you know what? One other thing about school, they never teach you how to have a bank account and how to run a business, how to deal with your money. No one ever teaches you that. So when you get a large check, a pay down on a job, if you don't know how to deal with that, you could get yourself into trouble.
Yeah.
And this book it's really it's actually, anybody in any business could actually read this and take this course and be able to do their business better.
Yeah.
Wow. So, John Michael, go ahead and explain all the different divisions of it, because there's so much involved in it. And honest to God, anybody who takes this course is going to say, why didn't I do this sooner?
Okay.
This course is really a level 1 general contractors course, and it's aimed specifically towards the residential contractor. But of course, the information is scalable to contractors of every size. And it starts off simply talking about who the contractor is and the differences between the contractor and the tradesman. And there are some very poignant differences that persons who are in general contracting ought to know. We talk about the contractor's responsibilities and the things that every good contractor ought to know if they want to be successful in the construction industry. We talk about contracts. There are a number of different types of contracts that are actually used in construction. A lot of people don't know that. To this day, we still see the famous one-pager with, I propose to do your house for X amount of dollars. And we have credible financial institutions accepting those types of proposals for construction contracts.
Yeah. Wow. That's terrible.
And really, it's more than terrible that Debbie is actually risky. It puts the financial institutions at risk. It puts the clients at risk. It spends a lot of time talking about
breaking up a little bit there, John Michael.
Yeah.
So how should that look? Not a one pager. What should it look like?
If you say I'm going to build your house for $150,000, what does it include? Are there cabinets in it? What about a window? Are there doors?
So get very
Is there a
specific.
Roof? Yes. You have to actually break the quote down from the beginning to the end so that you know exactly what will be included in the project and how much it's going to cost.
Okay. Wow. So I have so many questions. Why are the financial institutions accepting that?
At the high level, at a higher level, Dwight, I would put it like this. Every contract should have when the contract should start, when it should end, how the contractor ought to get paid.
Pay schedule.
When he gets paid,
You're breaking up again.
The owners of Standard.
All right, so clearly we are having some internet issues, and we're missing a lot of what you're saying there. So we're not sure what's going on there. Hopefully our service provider can help us get this sorted out.
But just while we're waiting to that get sorted out, just give us a second if you are there, John Michael. It's kind of in and out. So we were talking earlier about, people on the back of the truck, and it's not glamorous, and nobody wants to do that. And of course, so we were talking about a carpenter and a welder, so nobody really wants to be that because they think, nah, it's nothing really great. So we were just chit-chatting, and I said, well, okay, what about a welder? All right, so one of the pastor at my church is Tyrone Ferguson. He is a well-known Bahamian artist, but he's an artist in welding. The work that he does is metalwork. He's really a welder, but he is now an artist, right? So you've taken that trade and you've done something else with it. It's not just, I'm making bars for somebody's window so somebody doesn't break in. I mean, it's just an example of carpentry.
Well, we need a mindset shift, right?
Yes,
to appreciate
you can look
the
at
beauty
anything.
of this stuff.
Yes, you can look at anything however you want to look at it. You can make it look horrible, or you could make it look great in your own head. However you want to do it. Look at carpentry. John Antonis. What does he do? He does carpentry. He took all of those trees at Blake Road and turned them into actual people.
Yeah.
That is carpentry.
All right, so we're going to sort that out. While we do that, let's take this call, and then we'll connect with our guest on Zoom. Good morning, caller. You're on the air live.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Morning.
I've been in construction for like 45 years. I've done electrical work. That's my first trade. When I got into general construction, I did carpentry, I learned everything. You know what I'm saying? So, but and I learned on the job.
Yes, that's the best way to learn.
Right, because you get the practical experience same time. You see, the thing about construction is that construction, you need laborers. Like masonry, a mason, he needs 2 masons. If you have 5 masons, you need 6 helpers. You see, so it ain't about the skill. You see, and the problem is we have contractors. What they do is they hire the cheap labor. You see, they then to do that. The excuse they use is they say that Bahamians are lazy. You see, the last Bahamian help I work with, I work at cost. The people, my employer pay the help. He said the cost. You know what I mean, the rate. But when the rate is too low, you know what I do too. When a Haitian come on the job, ask for a job, I ask him how much he work for, right? With the Bahamian helper right there, And what happened when the Haitian say you really work for $80 and you want and my employer wants to pay the helper $60, what you think the Bahamian's gonna do? You see, that's the problem. That ain't about us needing Bahamians they learn on the job. And the same Haitian helper that they train on the job becomes a carpenter and a mason, then the contractor. And they know what they do? They don't hire the Bahamians. Before they hire the Bahamians, they hire Jamaican. You see, that's the problem we have. The doctors and the nurses and many other professionals, educated professionals, they don't want to come back to the Bahamas because they can't make enough money. So why should we feel like $100 or $200 or $60 is enough for labor and construction?
I don't know anybody who pays that. I mean,
thank you.
Yeah, I just anyway, Bahamians and persons from other countries basically get the same amount of money, in my experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so John Michael, we're back with and Laverne.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you
now. Great.
All right.
I switched my device just in case.
Okay.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I think it's on our end, but we're good now.
Okay. Where did I leave off? What was the last thing you got?
All right, so let's get back to the course. Now, Debbie has this giant book in front of her.
And that's edition 1, Dwight. That was written almost 10 years ago.
Wow.
And we're gonna have to update that edition because so much things have changed. The industry is so dynamic, and I looked at that and I realized, wow, that was it. We wrote that between 2015 and 2017, which is almost 10 years ago. So we're going to be using that for the very last time in this course.
Okay.
And we're working on updating that. That's one thing. But the course content talks about the role of the contractor. We'll be talking about the difference between a general contractor and a tradesman. We'll be talking about the responsibilities of the contractor, some of the things that every contractor ought to know in the regular execution of their duties, how to plan, how to schedule, how to supervise their work, how to pay attention to quality. We're going to talk about the different types of construction contracts. Like I said previously, there are the difference between a cost-plus contract versus a lump sum contract, time and materials contract. All of these things we will be discussing. We're going to talk about site administration, how a general contractor should go about setting up the actual construction site, paying attention to the communications, writing for requests for information and submittals, monitoring your cash flow, setting up your cash flow. We're going to spend some time talking about buying, how to do a proper construction estimate, the elements of a proper estimate, how do you go about buying out a job, things you should pay attention to with procurement and how that factors into your cash flow so that you're not losing money and you are spending, you're being financially prudent and fiscally responsible with other people's money. We're going to spend some time talking about dispute resolution and the ways to get your construction disputes resolved outside of going to court. Because the litigation process is the worst thing to do. Not the worst thing, but it's the harder and in most cases the longer thing to do when it comes to getting a construction dispute resolved. And there are other mechanisms that are available to contractors to get disputes resolved in construction. We're going to talk about ethics in construction as well. And then we're going to spend some time talking about the contractor's bill and what that bill allows for as an individual contractor and some of the provisions of that bill that help you operate in the construction space in the Bahamas. So it's a real comprehensive 3 days. And at the end of the course, there is a measured standard. So you have to take an exam.
Oh, okay.
And, you get a certificate of attendance for coming to the class, but the certified standard, you get that certificate. That's only awarded if you pass the exam, and the pass grade for the exam is, I think, 64%.
So what happens if you don't pass?
You just have to do it again.
Try it again.
You just have to do it again.
It's like
same with law.
You got to meet this. You got to meet the standard.
Right. Okay. All right. So can you say how many contractors have passed, are certified with the BCA? Do you have a number?
Leonard would know that better
Okay.
because the course had actually gone out and quite a few people have actually taken it.
Okay.
And they are certified through this course. But what we need to do now is, COVID basically stopped everything. And then, of course, nonprofits, it's not like we have money coming in on a regular basis, except for membership, that kind of thing.
Right.
So it's taken us this long to actually get to this point. But we also wanted to partner with so many people. We wanted to partner with BRIA. We wanted to work with persons from Ministry of Education and Ministry of Labor and Ministry of Works to make sure that everybody's on the same page.
Yeah. Okay, so who needs to take this? I mean, obviously contractors, but who should be a part of this? And if I've never done any contracting, construction, anything anything ever before, but I'm interested. Can I do this?
If I was a person and I worked at a bank and I was lending money to persons to build homes, I would want to make sure that I took this course so that I could understand where the two people, where we could make sure that we understand each other.
Really?
I would do that.
John Michael, I hear you.
I would agree. And Dwight, I want to be clear that this course is a part of the license. It isn't the license.
Okay.
So what this class says is you've met a reasonable standard where, based on your field practice, you should be able to get a contractor's license. They go hand in hand. So this is the in-classroom part. And this fulfills a provision that is actually set out in the General Contractors Bill.
Yeah, the Act.
Yeah.
In the Act.
Yeah.
So this fulfills that part. And the next part is, of course, the field inspections, making sure that, and this is what the BCA is going to take on in the absence of the board being formed at this time. So the BCA will have a recognized standard that, hey, we have these contractors that we know have gone through the the educational process. We can verify that these guys have been working in the field and they can produce good work. And based on those two things, the BCA will say, hey, look, we can verify that this is a competent contractor in the space.
So they would be certified with us.
Right. They will have a record of those persons.
Okay, so I need to get all the details about what form this is going to take over the 3 days and costs in just a bit. But let me ask you really quickly about the board and the act. Where do things stand? I know we that was last year. I attended a conference with the minister responsible for this, and there were lots of promises. What are we looking at now?
Well, in the budget, page 151, there was $50,000 that was allotted to professional contractors, and we met with the Prime Minister 2 Fridays ago, and he mentioned that was put in there because it would be the stipend for the persons that were chosen for the board. He even asked us for our suggestions as who we would suggest be their chosen ones, because we've already chosen ours a couple of years ago. And hang on a second. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so...
but any timeline, any idea?
Well,
when?
He did mention that if we sent in the things that needed to be done, so were parts that needed to go back to Cabinet, and our suggestions, that he would do his best to, by the end of August, have this put into play.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking at.
Have you all done that yet?
We met them on the Friday and the Monday the letter went to him.
Did it
So
right.
there
So
was we're serious about making sure that this thing happens, because we need licensed contractors. We need to stop having persons tell us stories about nightmares that are going on in the construction industry, and the only way to do that is to license.
And again, for those who aren't following, the act will require that contractors be licensed.
Right. And yes, and you know what? It's not like when you read it, people go, "Oh my God, I won't be able to make it. I won't be able to be licensed because I never went to school. I never did this." It doesn't matter. There, if there's about 10 different ways you can actually be a contractor. So you could be one that's gone to university for X amount of years. You could be somebody like me who's just been on the field for so many years. You don't have to worry about, oh my God, I'm not going to get there. Yes, you will. So can I give you just a little bit of information as to where it's going to be?
Sure. Yeah. This is about the course.
Right. It's going to be at the Balmoral Club, and Veritas is the name of the company that John Michael owns, and they would be the persons that would be doing the course for us, for the BCA. And you can apply if you want to do the course. It's $500 for members, $600 for non-members. You can register on our website, which is www.bahamiancontractors.org/training, or you could call the office at 356-8850 and speak to Donna. She's there Monday to Thursday from 9 until 4. Or you could go to admin@bahamiancontractors.org, our email address. And it's very simple. We're we're doing really well with registration so far. So we need to make sure that there's enough room for you. We've got another 4 days, and I don't know if they're going to have a machine on site or anything. If you wanted to come on the Monday and not registered, we'd have to figure out how to actually get paid. But yes, this is a really great opportunity, and we probably won't do this again until October.
Yeah.
And
How many people can you accommodate?
we can accommodate 50.
50.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And John Michael, how's it going to work? How many hours each day? What times? What are we looking at?
8:30 to 4:30 each day. And then we open the exam on Friday. And you have 48 hours to complete the exam.
Oh, 48 hours. Okay.
Oh, so that means you can cheat. No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
I tell the people, I tell people the exam is so simple and so easy that I can pass it.
All right. So give us a little idea of what the exam would entail. What
Oh, the exam actually covers, it just goes over the course content, the stuff that you've learned over the 3 days. We give you 2 days to pretty much kind of study and get your thoughts together. And then we open it on Friday, and from the minute you click go, you got 48 hours to complete it, or else it closes.
And you do it wherever you want to, or you have to? Yeah.
Yeah. You do
Okay.
that. It's an online exam.
Okay. All right. So
that's and that's why if you can't get 64%, you don't deserve to be a contractor.
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
you can utilize some of your resources.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is good. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited
Wow.
because we've been talking about this for the last 3 years since we got back. And this is a very exciting opportunity. Even if you think about this, let's say you are a person who wants to build a home in 5 years, but you've heard all the horror stories. Pay $500 and take this course and know exactly what the contractor should be doing. Wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
Let's say you were going to build a $300,000 house. You don't think that $500 would be worth it to know exactly what that contractor should do, so that when you're looking for a contractor, you make sure that their contract is within what it is in here, right? Wouldn't you think?
Or
how?
Or can you be your own contractor, or you don't recommend that?
Well, I guess you could, but I mean, that means you've got to find people. How are you going to
Yeah,
find the
that's a lot
right
of
people? You know,
It's a full-time job.
and why would you do it if you're a lawyer? If you need a lawyer, would you just want to go be a lawyer just so you don't have to hire a lawyer? I mean,
If you
really,
think you're the best, but no. No.
you know, everybody thinks
Dwight,
they can
some
do
people-
something.
I'll tell you, some people try to be their own contractors.
I bet.
There's a singular set of people I noticed that always believe that they can do it better than
Oh,
contractors.
boy.
Right?
Oh, boy.
I won't name the accounting profession, but that's
No, so not recommended. Not recommended.
it's not recommended.
No,
Right.
no.
All right. So one more time, let people know how to register for this. Again, not just contractors. Lots of people.
If I was somebody lending money to somebody, I would want to know what the contractors actually do. Because if you're lending money to somebody who says that the house can be built for $350,000 and it's really a $500,000 house, you need to know that. And where did those figures come from? Because oftentimes these are discrepancies that could really cause heartache for somebody. You know, you get halfway through the house or 3/4 through the house, and all of a sudden the contractor says, "I have to walk away. I can't finish the job." You don't want those kind of things to happen. So anybody could actually apply and do this course. I can't imagine why I wouldn't.
Yeah.
$500 is nothing out of $350,000 if you want to build a house and understand what's going on in the person who's doing the house for you. So yeah, again, our phone number is, hang on a second. Let me get to this and put my glasses on because I'm not 15 anymore. Don't tell anybody though. 356-8850. Speak to Donna, and she's there between 9 and 5 Monday through Thursday. 9 and 4, I apologize. Admin at bahamiancontractors.org, and you could register on our website, which is www.bahamiancontractors.org/training.
Okay. And hopefully this will all contribute to changing that image of
Well-
contractors and people in the field.
Yeah, the Department of Labor have registered a number of persons as well. So, I mean, yes, we're doing really, really well. We would just like to make sure that the room is full because we'll probably only do this once every quarter. And probably the next one may not even be in Nassau. It might be on a family island.
Yeah.
So we really would like, if you're interested, do it now.
Okay. Wonderful stuff.
Yeah. If you have questions, again, you can just call myself. I'm always reachable at 557-4845. You can call me and ask me any question. And also Donna with regard to the logistics.
Excellent. Keep up the great work that you all are doing. Keep me posted on all of this. Debbie Deal, John Michael Clark, and Leonard Sands, who was with us earlier. Again, you're going to be on this evening on Nailed It
Yes.
at 6:30 p.m.
Yes.
And giving out more of this information.
Yes.
And you're there every week.
And we're there
Wonderful stuff.
every week.
All right. Thank you again.
Is it 10 o'clock already?
Not yet.
Oh.
But we're getting close.
Okay.
Getting close.
Okay.
You had
But
me
thank you
scared.
both. Thank you both.
Thank
Appreciate
you so
it.
much for letting us be on and talk about this important thing. And thank you, John Michael Clark, for being on and giving your expertise on the entire project.
Great stuff. All right, we're going to take a break, and we have a few more minutes. We're going to get into some other business news and get your business report in just a bit. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
With RBC,
Your ideas become plans.
Your plans become memories.
This is retirement. And your dreams become your life.
whether it's planning that family vacation, owning your dream home, or retiring comfortably, your ideas are everything. And RBC is here to help make them happen. With RBC, your ideas happen here.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, Air, the Athlete's Foot, and BTC, Games and more, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson Island Lock, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
You work hard for your money, so let your money work hard for you. With as little as $1,000 to start, you can watch your money grow by investing in CFAL's Bahamian dollar and US dollar mutual funds, each tailored to match your unique investment profile. Our expert advisors are dedicated to crafting personalized investment strategies to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't miss out on the chance to earn higher returns on your hard-earned money. Join the thousands of investors who trust CFAL and start your journey toward financial freedom today. Visit us at cfal.com to learn more about our saving and investment options. And let us help you build wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. EA Energy saying that it will begin preparing sites for the construction of hybrid power plants for Abaco and Eleuthera this week after meeting environmental requirements and receiving financing. The company said it will begin with site clearing operations last week as the first step in the development of the dual liquefied natural gas and solar photovoltaic systems with battery storage, with vertical construction to begin in a matter of weeks. Construction is expected to create 38 jobs, 32 in Abaco and 16 in Eleuthera. The company adding that the plants are scheduled to be completed in the first quarter of 2026, with commissioning happening shortly thereafter. The Bahamas National Statistical Institute releasing its quarterly advance estimates for GDP for 2024, revealing that in the fourth quarter, the Bahamian economy grew by 7.6% compared to the fourth quarter of 2023. The advance estimates state that quarterly gross domestic product trends for 2024 show continued economic growth when compared to the corresponding quarters in 2023, with the exception of the third quarter, which recorded a modest year-over-year decline of less than 1%. The most notable increase occurred in the fourth quarter of 2024, which saw real GDP growth by 7.6% compared to the same period in 2023. The Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation's Labor Division head says that the National Tripartite Council is in the process of working out the kinks in the National Apprenticeship Program after the first cohort passed the initial stage of the program this Friday. Peter Gowdy telling Guardian Business that the first cohort had 25 individuals from the maritime sector and 25 from the construction sector. He says that all 50 of them have gone through the soft skills training and how to treat people and learning customer service. The National Apprenticeship Program's pilot was launched on September 24th and was actually projected to have 100 participants enrolled. The first cohort of the maritime students successfully completing the initial phase of that training. And short-term vacation rentals owners are operating in the wilderness, according to Bahamas realtor Mario Carey. He's calling for the creation of an association of local operators. Carey, the president and CEO of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate, MCR Bahamas, saying forming an association would strengthen the bargaining position of Bahamian short-term rental operators while ensuring they get the benefits that now accrue to wealthy foreign owners. He says the Hotels Encouragement Act allows owners to bring in all their furnishings and appliances duty-free. You can read more on his comments in today's Guardian Business section. In your Market Watch recapping trading on the BISX from Wednesday, your market movers, Commonwealth Bank moving 10,000 shares, closing at $4.40, up 4 cents. Consolidated Water up 15 cents, closing at $6.62, and Emira Incorporated down 9 cents, closing at $11.52. The BISX All Share Index closing at 2,989.27, up 0.10. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And we are back with Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. And Deputy is around sticking with us for just a minute more. Wanted to say something really quick?
Yeah, I would like to. My son-in-law, 2 Saturdays ago, had a stroke, 43 years old, and brain surgery. So during COVID, obviously, well, not obviously, but I'm sure this is going to be everybody's story, ended up losing his health insurance, which he had had his whole life. And they had all kinds of other things to pay, mortgage, school fees for 2 kids, and all kinds of stuff. And anyway, his name is Kevin Coakley. And we were doing a fundraiser for him. The Bahamas Youth Flag Football is doing a South-Out for him on the 23rd. We have tickets available at Tony's Cabinets and Island Delight under the bridge. And basically, we're doing a fundraiser to try to help us cover the cost of all the expenses. And we're doing okay, but we still have a long way to go. And he made it through the surgery, and he made it home the Thursday after the surgery, and is doing well. He needs the speech therapy and learning to walk again and that kind of stuff. But we really could use the support. If you want to, support it all, my phone number, which is my WhatsApp, is 557-4845. Debbie Deal, and it's you can get tickets through me as well, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
Please try to support. He's a Mason Edition grown-up kid, and we could really use the support.
You have a flyer?
I do.
Yeah, send it to me and I'll post it
Okay,
as well. Yeah.
perfect, and his bank account number and all that kind of stuff. So really appreciate anything you could do, and thanks so much for having us on.
No problem.
Okay.
And we're praying for him. Hopefully
Thank you.
everything works out all right.
I have to go now and help because one of us has to be there at all times, and my daughter's got to go out and do some shopping for school, just like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, wow.
All right.
Thanks again, Debbie.
Thank you.
Prayers for all of you.
Thanks so much.
All right, Laverne. So, interesting articles in today's Guardian business section, and I wanted to take a closer look at this one here. A realtor calls for Association of Short-Term Vacation Rental Operators. You heard a bit about that in the business report just now. So our Chester Robards writing about this. So short-term vacation rentals owners are operating, quote, in the wilderness without a seat at the table when the government makes decisions on the sector. According to Mario Carey in a press statement yesterday, he's calling for the creation of an association of local operators. Carey, the president and CEO of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate MCR Bahamas, said forming an association would strengthen the bargaining position of Bahamian short-term rental operators while ensuring that they get the benefits that now accrue to wealthy foreign owners, noting that with the Hotels Encouragement Act, owners can bring in all their furnishings and appliances duty-free, but I guess that is not something that the short-term rental folks can do. So Carey says, quote, most of those owners are extremely wealthy foreigners and they are enjoying the benefits because Albany and certain other developments are registered under the Hotels Encouragement Act. Meantime, a Bahamian who wants to renovate a home or upgrade a space to create a short-term rental is paying full duty and VAT on everything they purchase. It is all because a small operator does not have a voice. He says, quote, as we make the Bahamas more attractive to visitors who might go elsewhere or go to Bahamians looking for a family island experience, we need to ensure that Bahamians participate and benefit. To that end, the banks have an important role to play, making attractive lending facilities available for the Bahamian owners of short-term rental properties. So Carey says in the statement that the Bahamas has 2,600 properties on Airbnb alone. 2,600, wow. Which yields for profits ranging from 6 to 10%, higher than regional rivals such as Miami or Costa Rica. He says the Department of Inland Revenue has estimated that there are 38,000 short-term vacation rental units in the Family Islands. 38,000. Wow. Though only 502, or less than 1.3%, are registered as of December 2024. These are some interesting numbers. What? 38,000 short-term vacation rentals. But only
And how many are registered?
502.
Okay.
Less than 1.3%. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And Carey says, of those, 55% were foreign-owned and registered as vacant land. Carey contends that the short-term vacation rental market is one of the few economic spaces that Bahamians are easily able to start a business in, saying, quote, short-term rental platforms like Airbnb or Vrbo are the fastest-growing sector of the tourism economy, a sector the Bahamians of relatively modest means can participate in. Yet, while there are hundreds in the marketplace, they have no voice. They are just operating out in the wilderness. When new policies or regulations are being discussed, no one is consulting the operators who are going to be affected. I'm proposing an organization that has a dual purpose: to speak for the short-term vacation rental market, to extend benefits to the Hotels Encouragement Act through that association, and to protect Bahamians participating in the market, particularly in the Family Islands. He contended that extending the Hotels Encouragement Act benefits to vacation rental owners would grow the sector. Well, it certainly would. Quote, given the decisions the government is making related to registration, licensing, and real property tax, Bahamians in the short-term rental market, especially in the Family Islands, need a seat at the table now more than ever. Expat interest in the short-term vacation rental market is especially evident in places like Eleuthera, where one management company based in the U.S., for instance, controls dozens of rentals. Wow. For this reason, Kerry thinks that the Hotels Encouragement Act should benefit Bahamian owners in the same way it benefits owners of condos in places like Albany, Goldwyn, and other luxury condominium developments on Cable Beach. The hotel sector has long sought to ensure that short-term vacation rental owners do not have a competitive advantage over their rooms, and has called on the government to ensure that taxes and concessions are equitable. Okay. Let's get your reaction to all of that. This, as the Department of Inland Revenue has been sending lots of notices around to people saying that we have observed that you are in the short-term rental business when you might not actually be. They're going to be talking with us about this next week, hopefully. But there's a lot of it going on. And you heard those estimates. But let's get your reaction. What do you make of it? Is Mario Carey right? Is he starting the association? Should folks who are doing short-term rentals get those same benefits, being able to bring in things duty-free? That sounds fantastic, eh? And should there be stipulations or requirements? What's your take on it? Give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Laverne, what do you say? What do you
Well,
make of
perhaps
that?
if those, and can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, just making sure. Perhaps those who are in the short-term rental field area would be more inclined to register if, as a part of being recognized, once you've gone through the process of whatever that process is, of becoming officially registered, you were able to get those kinds of concessions. You know what I mean? That would be maybe even a better incentive to have people go out and register. Because they know once I'm registered, I'm recognized through this association, through whatever, I am entitled to certain concessions. And much like those for hotels and those condominiums that Mario mentioned.
Yeah.
So, that is something to consider, and then people may not, and I'm only basing this on people who I know have these Airbnbs and their reluctance to register, because for some of them, they're just seeing it as a way that the government is just going to tax them even more. I'm not saying that's the situation. I'm just saying that's their feeling. But maybe attaching some incentives, incentivizing people to go ahead and register. That'll be good. To have a body that actually monitors and approve these Airbnb, because I've seen some places that saying that they're offering Airbnb.
Oh, boy.
And I'm always concerned
Yeah.
because I'm familiar with the area, and I'm like, but
Well,
again,
is the area the issue or the photos that you see online? of the place.
The area is the issue. The photos is the issue sometimes. It's a lot. But in any event, I'm saying if there's a regulatory body standard, and then they also know that there are incentives that they can take advantage of, that would, all of that, I think, would be a reason where more people would be encouraged to go ahead and register.
It sounds really good. That's a great idea, Laverne. I really think so. Although I could see it being abused because I could see a couple people registering as a short-term rental just so they could bring in things duty-free. But it might be worth it.
You know,
it might be worth it to pay extra VAT.
It's about policing,
Yeah.
right? So as with anything, because there's always a way that someone, can try to find a loophole. But it's also about policing and enforcing whatever infractions happen, that whatever penalties, being able to enforce those penalties if you discover that there are any infractions. But I don't think that should be a reason why not to do it, So I just think that would be really good and helpful for people in that area.
Pretty interesting. All right, so we got some.
And I also, before you go to call, I also want to make a clarion call to people who are considering going in the Airbnb business, because it seems to be very popular. I guess it's very lucrative. But I just want you to know that there are Bahamians who would like to rent.
Well,
because it seems as if, and I'm just speaking from over here, I don't know how it is in New Providence.
Oh, it's worse.
It seems as if that's the focus more so than having regular renters. But there are still Bahamians who would like to rent an apartment.
Well, Laverne,
long-term rental.
Yeah, absolutely. Most of those people who you're talking about don't care. They obviously don't care. They're Bahamians who cannot find places to live, and they're only looking at that quick money, I guess. I don't know what it is, but they don't seem to care at all.
Who don't seem to care?
The folks you're talking about, they've abandoned long-term rentals. They are only focused on short-term. So many.
Right.
And you can tell them, you can show them how hard it's getting.
Honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. It's only so much. The market in a minute is going to be saturated. So what are you really going to be making? You're going to find. I mean, we just was in this discussion. I'm talking about this, I don't know, maybe a couple of days ago, that what's going to end up happening is you're going to find that your unit is just sitting there. And then now you're still going to have to turn around and look at long-term rentals. So,
well, think about it. Look, these numbers. If Mario Carey is saying it's 2,600 properties in Airbnb alone, and the Department of Inland Revenue says it's 38,000 short-term rental vacation units in the Family Islands. I mean, what would that number be for long-term? It's nowhere near that.
Right.
Nowhere near that. So this is crazy. What's happening? Something has to give, but we hope everybody. We do get the points. Mario Carey's making some great points there, but yes, it's great. What you're saying, keep in mind that we have a housing shortage. We really do. We really do. All right, so we're going to have to leave that there. We're out of time. Laverne Gardner, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Really appreciate you. We'll talk with you again next week. And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great one, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.